I love prestige television. Everything from HBO classics like The Sopranos and The Wire
Yo. Yo, son, come on. Yo, Omar's coming, man. Oh, shit.
to the more contemporary cultural touchstones like Euphoria, Mr. Robot, and Game of Thrones. Bad last 4 seasons excluded, obviously.
You spend too much time worrying about what other people think of you.
I could care less what anyone thinks of me.
You know, that's what you want people to think of you.
And of course, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
He defecated through a sunroof. And I saved him. And I shouldn't have. I took him into my own firm. What was I thinking?
The proverbial mineshaft that is prestige television never seems to run dry. Flip through your subscription services and you'll find a wide selection of unique, thought-provoking stories brought to life by talented creators and showrunners. But what if sometimes I don't want my thoughts provoked? What if sometimes I don't want to watch a deep philosophical treatise about the hubris of man? What if sometimes I don't want to watch a bunch of morally gray characters ambiguously suffer for 10 to 50 episodes? What if sometimes I just want to watch a show where a giant man built like a gorilla interrogates a bad guy in the hospital by blowing up his catheter like a balloon?
I can't understand a word he's saying.
What if sometimes I just want to watch Reacher? Reacher is a 2022 Amazon-produced television series based on the Jack Reacher novel series by Lee Child. The show follows the titular former Army major and head of the Army Special Investigations Unit, Jack Reacher, as he aimlessly wanders America solving the inevitable troubles that always seem to find him. Reacher, in many ways, is the antithesis of modern prestige television. There is no moral ambiguity to be found here. Reacher and his allies are always just and virtuous.
How am I supposed to get ahead when you're wasting my goddamn money? Get your ass in the van. The hell you want, asshole? I'm talking to you, stupid.
Oh, tell me, baby, why did you spend last night? Oh, don't you hear
Listen, man, I'm just having a bad day. Won't happen again.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Meanwhile, his enemies are cartoonishly twirling mustache and tying damsels to railroad tracks levels of evil. The big bad for season 2 literally throws combat veterans out of a helicopter as a hobby. Reacher also takes this black and white approach in how it handles modern social issues. When topics like sexism and racism are hinted at or outright mentioned, they are quickly and accurately brushed off as stupid and bad by our Paragon lead.
We'll need to proof this thing once more. Why don't we do it at the bar? I could use a beer.
You know, Cole, there are already going to be people who believe you didn't earn this case because you're a young woman and you're only here to meet some quota. If we're seen out socially, those people will look at this as something more than what it is, and it'll only add fuel to their fire. Let's not let some assholes diminish what you earned. I could use a beer, too.
Thanks for looking out, boss.
Thanks for the great work.
Reacher is not trying to fit into the mold of the current event television landscape. And refreshingly enough, it's not trying to break that mold either. Reacher at its core is a procedural and an action movie stripped down to its bare essentials, supplemented with solid craftsmanship, and that's all it wants to be. Despite, and honestly, I think mainly because of Reacher's simplicity and lack of depth, I believe this series is universal. I believe it appeals to all primates to our base understanding. I think if you put this show on weekly in a gorilla enclosure, our lowland cousins wouldn't miss an episode. In fact, it's the only show running on television that has me pointing at the screen and hollering like an orangutan. And I do truly believe in its universality. I think everyone who watches Reacher will have a good time if they come into the show with good intentions and the right mindset. Do not turn on Amazon and hit play expecting White Lotus or Succession. I think I've made it exceedingly clear that this show is not prestige television. Reacher is very comfortable in its own skin. It knows what it is, and it requires you to meet it at its level. My recommendation for starting Reacher would be as follows. You've had a hell of a day. Maybe it was outright bad. Maybe it was simply just overwhelming. Maybe you are constantly reminded of the world's geopolitical climate. Or maybe just another day at the office staring at the computer screen has successfully stripped the joy from you again. Whatever the reason, if you find yourself needing a true distraction, an actual escape, this is the best time to start Reacher. Find a comfy chair, turn on Prime Video, hit play, take the rules and world of Reacher at face value, and return to Monkey. Some of you may still bounce off of Reacher, which is fine. Despite my assertion to the contrary, nothing is truly universal. Maybe you are just too cynical, and that's something I can completely understand. But if you find yourself a skeptic heading into watching Reacher, I would simply say this. Maybe splashing around in a country creek lacks the complexity, the literal and figurative depth of meaning found diving in the deep ocean. But by God, that country creek can still be fun if we accept it for what it is.